Social media is your biggest marketing tool, and most people are on Instagram. This is Utah Hustlers, a podcast on how to build your business to $10,000 a month. My name is Skylar Beitendorp, and it is my mission to help you achieve success, happiness, and freedom on your own terms. Today, we're talking about Instagram and more specifically, how to set up your profile to be more searchable so more people know what you're about, and that way more people want to follow you and less people want to unfollow you. Because if you have a product or service, or you're a coach, or you're a photographer, or whatever you do, social media is your biggest marketing tool, and most people are on Instagram. It's kind of the middle ground as far as every social media platform goes, because you can post almost anything on it. And I recently hired an Instagram expert, and I would like to share with you what has been shared with me on setting up your profile and getting the most out of it. All right, so if you are on Instagram, this episode's for you. If you're not, then disregard it. Or honestly, a lot of this you could apply to most of your platforms. But I'm going to do this episode while on the app. That way I'm looking at it. So if you want to just listen to this and apply it later, great. If you're able to take out your phone and look at your Instagram app as you listen, that would be best because then you can see what I'm talking about. But if not, I'll explain it very clearly so that way you can just do this later. So number one, I'm going to talk about the profile picture. So everybody wants to see your face, right? And I see a lot of profile pictures out there that are pretty zoomed out from their face. Like it's either like a full body shot, a half body shot, or it's something else completely, which you don't want. But what you do want is to be very close on your face because most people are viewing these on a smartphone and it is literally the size of a dime on there. So if you aren't close up on your face, people aren't going to be able to tell immediately that it's you. And especially if they found you through networking, or if they found you from somewhere else on the internet, you want them to identify immediately that, okay, this is the person that I'm looking for. Because sometimes they might not recognize the name on there or the handle that we have or whatever. But a lot of people will recognize our face if they met us one time or saw us somewhere else. So your profile picture should be very close in on your face. If you go look at my profile on Instagram, you're going to see like how close it should be. Or if you go look at any other social media expert, like I'm talking someone who really knows what they're doing. Like honestly, now looking at mine again, I could probably zoom in a little more, but we want to be nice and close. Alex Hormozi is a great example of this. If you go look at his, it's just his face. It's not his shoulders. It's not his neck really. You can see the neck a little bit. I mean, he's got a big beard, but it's very zoomed in on his face. Or if you look at Omar from Think Media, his is also very zoomed on his face. Those are two people that are extreme experts on social media and specifically Instagram. So first thing, change your profile picture. Number two is most people set their Instagram handle as their name or they have some other name. If you are able to get your name, use your name as part of building your personal brand. But in the settings, if you tap edit profile, you have your name that you can set. So this name should be what you are about. It shouldn't be your name because if people go and search for your name, if they go and search for Skylar Beitendorp, they're going to find Skylar Beitendorp because of my username. But if someone's looking for podcast coaching or podcast production, they're not going to find me until now because I switched the name of my profile to podcast launch and growth coach because that's what I want people to find me as on there. So if someone searches Skylar Beitendorp, they'll find me. If they search podcast coach, they'll also find me. So I'm more searchable on Instagram. So if you're a photographer, you want to put on what kind of photography you do. Are you a wedding photographer? Are you a fitness photographer? Or maybe you do landscaping. So you would put landscape design expert or landscape expert. You want to put something in there so that way you're more searchable. And another big thing that people do is they put the city or state that they operate in there as well. So change the name to that. If you have a hard to find username, switch it to your name. Honestly, in my opinion, that's the best thing to do. That's what I see many other people do. That's what I see many other people do that are social media experts. They just have it as their name. If your name's not available, you can put the at the beginning or official at the end, something like that. But do what you can to make it as easy to find your name as possible because no one's going to remember you as Utah's best 1728. Like that's just not as searchable. So you try to do your name. So as far as your bio goes, you don't want to have over 4 lines. If you have over 4 lines, the way that people will view it is they'll only be able to see actually maybe 4, but probably 3, and then they're going to have to hit more. So if they have to hit more, it's too big. And double check that from someone else's profile because it might not show up on yours. But if you put too much stuff in there, then people just aren't going to see it. And honestly, it's just too much that people aren't going to read it all. So you can have a max of 4 lines. If you can do 3, great, but a maximum of 4. For me, the first line is kind of the benefit of what people will get for following me. And that's honestly what we want, because on Instagram, people want to know like why I should follow this person. And so you're going to answer that question immediately with the first line. So mine is growth tips for creators and entrepreneurs. So people are like, oh, growth tips. That's great. That's what I want. I might tweak this. And I'm no way saying I know all this stuff perfectly. This is what I have been coached to do from literal experts. So the benefit of why they should follow you. And then below that, you want to put some things that give you some credibility. So milestones you've hit, or accomplishments you have, or how many reviews you've got, or, things like that. So things that give you a little bit of credibility, put those below. And then what I have at the very end, and what I was coached to do, is give them a call to action. So mine is follow, or it could be click the link to book now, or it could be reach out to me in the messages. But a lot of people are just kind of mindlessly scrolling or looking at profiles on Instagram. And so they kind of forget to like, they forget to follow. They forget all these little things that they're like, oh, I should follow this for later. Give them a call to action. Whatever you want them to do, tell them to do that. If you do all that, your bio will be set up pretty good. I see a lot of people, they put up an emoji at the beginning of each line. That's what I did. I think it looks nice. I see other experts do it. So that's what I did. And then we have the link in your bio. So ideally, you want it to just be a single link that takes them to one place. Ideally, not a link tree. Ideally, not one tap that gives them multiple options, because then they're going to get paralysis by analysis, right? Too many options, they're going to choose none of them. So if you can send them to one place, do that. I do have a link tree though. And as far as what I was coached on is when it comes to link trees or having multiple options for people to click, is you don't want to give them more than 3. If you have more than 3 options for them, it is very likely that they will choose none of them. So it's kind of pointless to do anything more than 3, because you're going to convert way less people. And like I said earlier, I'm still testing different things out. I'm actually thinking I will get rid of the link tree and just have a single link. But right now I do have the link tree because I don't have a specific website that I want people to go to, or a landing page. So that's what I have for now. Okay, so let's go to how we set up our profile. So if you're looking at your profile, in the top right corner, you have your hamburger button. If you click privacy and settings, it should say something for professionals or creator or something similar to that, not too far down. If you click in that, for mine, it says for professionals, creator, tools, and controls. You want to go down to the bottom of that and hit switch account type. If it gives you the option to switch to a creator or business account, switch to that. That means you're on a personal account and you have less searchability and less analytics if you are not on one of those. So switch to that. If you can switch to the business, you get slightly more analytics if you do that. If you do business or anything you do, you'll want to go back to your profile home, hit edit profile, and you're going to go scroll down to where it says category. Switch this category to entrepreneur. If your profile is set to business type, if you click entrepreneur, it actually gives you a couple more options as far as posting and different things like that go. And then you're going to turn off display on profile, because it's just more stuff on your profile home and you're giving people too much information to take in. So turn that part off. And so if you just do all those things, you're going to be more searchable. People are going to know exactly why they should follow you, like what benefit they get from following you. They're going to easily be able to tell who you are, your face. They're going to, build trust faster because they can see your beautiful face, not just a full body shot of some silhouette that you took a long time ago. So those are honestly the basics. I feel like that is more than enough information to get started, but make those changes. You're going to be far ahead of the game if you make those changes with it, as far as people being able to find you and to buy your products and services. I've already noticed that I have less people unfollowing me since making these changes, because people that are thinking about unfollowing me, they're going to, be like, oh, who's Skylar Beitendorf? Oh, they click in there and they're like, oh, this is what he does. I'm going to keep following him because I want to know this. And if they unfollow me, that's good. It's kind of like trimming off the fat, right? There are people that aren't interested in what I'm posting about, what I'm about, what I'm doing. And so we don't want them anyway. And if you've got all that done, feel free to reach out. I got a lot more things that I've been coached on to do, and I'm already seeing changes, right? So would be happy to help you pass on the knowledge that I have paid for, because if it helps you guys win, I'm all about that. And that's about it for today. It's the middle of December. I hope you have all your Christmas shopping done by now. If not, get on that. We're 10 days away from Christmas. You don't have a lot of time. Get that done. If there's anything I can help you guys with, reach out. And until next time, keep building.